Hello and welcome to Mental Health and Wellness Part 2. This again has been taken from the stream that I did a few days ago, and we're talking about a TED Talk that we just recently watched, which is in the description below, and also the link for the book that I'm reading from is in the description below. If you enjoy. Thanks.
Hey, Andy.
Alright, where are we at? Reckon it's time to play video games yet, chat? Let's have a look, see what we got here. Whew, thank you very much for the follow. In the stream to the people who struggle with that end up as streamers. In terms of, I forgot what people struggle with. I mean, life in general, to be honest. Parents usually just repeat their parents did to them. It's inside the reptile brain. That's why the world is hurting so much. I mean, there was a video I showed earlier before actually, and it's one that I've also put something up on Twitter yesterday, and it's about being kind, and instilling struggling with self-love. I struggle with that on a daily basis, to be fair. Instilling kindness in our lives and doing acts of kindness in our life, and to be honest, I think I've kind of lived a life like that, but without really truly understanding why I'm doing what I'm doing. It's just something that, you know, I feel like my mother kind of just instilled in me, and I will always be grateful for that. I will always be grateful for that, you know. But it's not just about being kind to others, because I feel the one thing that was neglected in my upbringing by my parents was being kind to yourself. And that is something that I am only really truly understanding at this point in my life right now. But fuck's sake. Munching. As my mom needs some sleep, I'll grab my pipe and slippers and get into my blanket. I'm munching. I feel like maybe this is, you know, this is just my thought on the perception of the reality in which we have lived. We have been so focused on what others seem and see as success, what others see as, or what perceive as beauty, as talent, as, you know, being good in this world, that we forget to actually look at what our own grounding on those principles in life are and is. And as I started off, you know, today's sort of session, it was about, you know, our own self-worth and how we see that. Give themselves out in a community in which monetary success is literally based on the kindness and generosity of people who value their content as entertainment. Maybe it's a way of believing in being kind to yourself. Potentially. I mean, in terms of being a content creator, I guess that depends on you as an individual. I'm, you know, creating content on this platform I did as a way of escapism from life, as a way of, I know, like, my friend asked me to stream because they wanted to watch me play. That was essentially how I got into doing this. And never in a million years thought 4 years later I'd still be doing it and also have a purple tick next to my name. Let alone having a discussion around mental health with you guys today. So this is like my very first ever, like, just chatting stream. You know, you know me, I don't use a face cam. I used to use a face cam quite a lot when I first started off, and actually, this is a sidetrack. Okay, when I was thinking this past week about, do you have vision? You know, you look at yourself and you think negatively of yourself, and it's, you know, I'm trying to unlearn that mentality. But I also look at myself like from 2 years ago, and I look at myself back then and I was just like, I actually looked alright. didn't look bad at all, and I remember being back then and hating myself just as much as I don't like myself now. And even then, I look at myself back to when I was 10 years ago, and I looked fucking sexy, not gonna lie. When I was 30, I'm not funny. When I was 30, I actually looked like I was 21. I looked exactly like I used to have a picture of my 21-year-old self and my 30-year-old self, and you put them back together, and I was just like, okay. But yeah, anyway, hi Hixie, how you doing? So I don't know about you guys, but that I'm only just kind of understanding or coming to terms with it, trying to appreciate the me now, and the who I am now. Social conditioning is such that we unconsciously place more value on how we perceive others view us rather than how we view ourselves. Yes, and even then, our perception of how somebody else sees us is not how they see us. If it was not for friends I've met through gaming, I would not be where I am now. That includes supporting with money, kindness, open arms. For real, they see something I'm now only looking for. And when I get there, I have so much love to give back and to the people who believe in me. You're eating and listening. Awesome. Thanks. What are you munching on? I was, so some of you may know a streamer called Glad. I have known him for a very, very, very long time. Hi, Spanx. How you doing? Most respect for you, don't need to make effort to love yourself. It's difficult, but so important. Being truly content. Oh, thanks, Lucy. That's very kind of you. And this past week, I jumped in a stream. I don't get to go into a stream as often as I normally do. And I dropped my 40-month subscription, and I was technically the second person to sub to him. But I remember that he was about to get his affiliate button back in the day, and I promised him that I would be the first person to sub to him. Oh, thank you very much for the follow. I forget I've got spooky shit going on. And although I'm not always there, I'm not, you don't often see me there anymore. I used to be quite a lot. He went through a period of intense kind of. He was, he left his job, he stopped everything, he had no money. And I was saying to him yesterday that the one thing that I'm most proud about in terms of his entire journey is the fact that the kindness that he has received from others within his community when it was tiny and small, he has passed on to those that are supporting him and are there in his community now. And that for me is more than I can ever have hoped for. To seeing his success, it's a beautiful and a brilliant thing, which I feel more of us need to do, because we aren't successful on our own. Hey, Brothers, how you doing? We are successful by those around us. We are successful by each and every single one of the people that we come into contact with. It is not a solo journey. It is always a team effort. Which is why it's always important to pass that on. There you go. Yeah. Welcome. He's cutting onions? No one? Not at all? Is it time for video games, by the way? Are we all good? How is everybody feeling? Are you... I honestly thank you so much for joining me in this talk, on Mental Health Day. Ah, thanks, Bubbles. Thanks, Lucy. Yeah. Yeah, it's a sweating. I mean, what? But yeah, that's, I'm still growing as a person in that, and I'm thankful that I have the ability to do that. Like I said earlier, for those of you who follow me on Twitter, I started a gratitude post me and my friend. Find it easier. Exactly, Alice. Exactly. Considering I'm unemployed. Hey, look, I understand that, Cloppy. Just. Yeah. How about I give you a high five? There you go. High five. You know, and you know, something maybe perhaps you can challenge yourself that every day. So my challenge is for 21 days, and we're at day 6 today, is to find 3 things, or to think about 3 things that I am grateful for in my life. And it's the first thing that I do in the morning. And I have found over the 6 days that I've been doing that my days have had a little bit more joyfulness in them. It's a mean person to make Chet cry without offering napkins. I mean, you got some snot rags somewhere. If you are into watching motivational speakers or TED Talks or that kind of stuff, one of the ones I've been kind of revisiting a lot, yeah, is one by Oprah Winfrey. Like some of the things that she does a lot of talks, especially to, for example, people at Harvard Business School, and the likes, and the inspirational talks that she gives are about her sort of her upbringing, where she's come from, what she's done, and you know, the fact that she's achieved what she has done against a lot of negativity and a lot of you know, a lot of obstacles is a testament to her strength. And we all have that strength inside of us to be able to achieve what we set out to do, if we're willing enough to be able to let it in, you know, from my perspective anyway. So for those of you who did jump in, I've been reading a little bit from this book here. It's called Walk with Wings. So I'm on my sort of, I feel like I'm almost at, it's not like really a midlife crisis, but it's definitely a sense of finding self and sense of finding purpose for me. Because all throughout my entire life, I've kind of had goals to attain and goals to get, and kind of find myself here right now going, I got fuck all to do. And sometimes that can be kind of boring. Hi, Hoginut, how you doing? Here's a question for you, chat. What things do you do every day for yourself? And I'm not just talking about eating. Okay. Here's a little quote for you. Called accompany yourself. Sometimes you have to crawl through the little loneliness in order to bump into someone who will accompany you towards finding your feet to dance again. And don't be surprised if that somebody is you, because being alone will never outburn the loneliness grieved in the wrong relationship. I pooped, that counts 100%. Nothing? Hi, hell, other than touching myself and no. Yeah. Alright. Need to do some more self-love, hen. That's what I love to. You cook quite a lot, actually, Cloppy. You burn a lot? Okay. Does that... I used to... I'm not exactly a skinny bitch. But I used to do some form of running, and I remember when I used to do that, sometimes I would just find myself or have other ways of cleansing my thoughts. So is that how that works for you, or how does it work for you? Show up to your streams? I mean, that's always cool, Spanks. Thank you. I'm currently pursuing a career in something that's less financially stable than other jobs because I enjoy it more. That counts. Kind of. You need to be able to weigh up balance on that one. Else with that, and also your ass sweat. Oh, that's awesome. That's really good. So, with a glass of lemon water, stretch a yawn, and ask, why do I have to go to work silently screaming, fuck. Yeah. Okay, so I used to know somebody who used to do the whole lemon water thing quite a lot. Like every day. My granddad used to do that. He also used to religiously eat fried egg every day. And there are health benefits to that. You're cooking now. See, you're always bloody cooking, Cloppy. What are you making us? Pancakes? Cook for homeless people and run on the beach for an hour, then gaming and spend time with my dog. That's awesome. On reflection, I cook and listen to music, which I could say is for myself. The music, definite, but cooking is usually for me and the fam. That's still a way of, I mean, I don't cook as often as I probably should. I've been trying to, again, eat better, but it's just me, you know. This again, what I just said, it's just me. Oh, you know, I'm important. I don't see myself as important. Therefore, I don't cook for myself because that's not important. That's what's going through my head. And that's not what should be going through my head. You know, I feel that for me cooking, I enjoy cooking, but I prefer to do it for others. And that's something that's been ingrained in me, and I don't know how. I mean, I enjoy doing things for others and there's nothing wrong with that, but sometimes I do things for others at the expense of myself. And again, it's something that I'm slowly learning to try and ooh, croque monsieur, very nice. And cheese. That I'm trying to sort of like recognize, understand, and appreciate that it's not necessarily 100% negative, but that I can always do better. Last 6 months I've had to throw myself into work, which has resulted in me forgetting about me and my fam. I'm not a happy person to be around at the moment. I recognize I must try harder. There's nothing wrong with that. I read a positivity calendar book every day while I get to work, sipping my coffee. Fuck yeah, high five. High freaking five, Hockey Nut. That's awesome. Okay, alright, so Andy, based on what you've talked to us about, what's one thing that you can do today to change that? And while you're thinking about that, I'll read you this. Know your worth. You might miss out on a chance at love by being in your feelings for the wrong one. Risk for the ones that you love. Yeah. This one actually, when I stumbled across this little part of the book, that this poem kind of struck me. It kind of hit me knocked me right between the eyes, you know. And it's called Self-Love, and it says, "I don't need you to love me. I need to love me." So, a book entitled "Fuck Yourself." Hey, there was one. Oh. There's a book I read years ago. I think it's like The Art of Not Giving a Shit. Fucking a brilliant book. Cannot give my minis the hard time for the tiniest mistakes. Their children need to learn to grow. So I'm so hard on them at the moment. Okay. So relax your parenting, Andy. In the calendar. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Can I ask you something, Andy? Do you try any form of meditation or meditative thoughts? I'm not just talking about like sitting there, you know, that kind of meditation, but like for me, meditation just means taking some time out just to think about something else, or like focus on something that I know that I need to focus on, or just trying to still my mind so that it's not so full of shite. I'm a single dad of a 16-year-old daughter. Shit's rough, dude. Bravo and well done to you, Dad, Hockey Nut, for being a dad to a 16-year-old. I remember being a 16-year-old. I moved to this country from Australia at that point in my life, and I was probably... That, for me, was the most fundamental change that my life had ever had, and I was... I remember asking my dad for 2 years straight to take me back to Australia. I hated it. I was in a horrible place. And for me, that experience kind of negatively impacted on my education as well, which sucked. Use the calm app daily, and by try I mean fail daily. That's okay. So, with the calm app, because I'm familiar with that, you know, even if, like, there's a little section on that, which sometimes I don't find it difficult to sleep, but I get distracted too much, okay? TikTok is not something that you should have on your phone or watch before going to bed. Just don't. Alright? Whoever introduced me to TikTok, Red Queen. Anyway, there's a timer that I have used on that app, TikTok, yeah, whereby I set it for 3 minutes, and it's literally 3 minutes of me breathing, following the app. Put the golden... Really, Hockey Nut, come on. And I find that sometimes just focusing on your breathing is a good way. It's really hard. I can't say that this convo has made me realize that. Cool! Good, Andy! Good. I'm glad it has. So, you know, even if you don't action something, because I know for me it's taken me a lot. I've been thinking about these kind of things for a long time in my life, and it's only just recently that I've started to actually be more attentive and action those things. And I think the one fundamental piece of advice, if you want that, or thought to go along with all of the discussions that we have, is to be kinder to ourselves. We are our most harshest critic. Actually, there was a video, I don't know whether it's appropriate to play it right now, to be fair, but you can check them out. There's loads of them on YouTube. And it was actually about how critical we are of ourselves, of our own self-image, and how other people see us, and when we... Oh, that's my door. Give me one moment, chat. My door, I have a package. Giggity. Where was I? What are we talking about? Being kind to ourselves. And how other people view us. And when I watched these, like, this little video was an experiment on how that person thought about themselves. And so they were talking about that, and it was, alright, how can you not have fun? And it was, quite negative, you know, in terms of, you know, their appearance and what they thought about themselves. And the reaction of the other person that they were telling this to was exactly how they thought of their own self, and that brought tears to their eyes. So how we see ourselves isn't how other people see us, because when they explained to the other person how they saw them, it was very, very different. Siblings and sisters, yeah. There's a handful of them. Do you want to see what's in my package? I do. Ooh. I know what I've got. I got a hoodie. Glad merch hoodie. First time I ever bought any of his actual clothes. I've got 2 mugs. It's so cool. I don't know whether it's gonna fit me though. I don't know whether it's gonna go over my boobs. It might go over me boobs, I don't know. There you go. Yes. Let's see my fucking shit. Oh, chat. We have been chatting for a while. There is. My mind was blown very recently when someone told me. Someone told you what? Every person knows a different version of you. Yep. Boobs, I'm back. I want to. That's it. Hey, Cadmus, how you doing? Is this a scheduling thing, this segment? I mean, yeah, this is something that, well, the whole reason that I wanted to do this and to have this discussion and to talk with you is because it is Mental Health Day today. So that's what that is. World Mental Health Day. And so I wanted to just kind of open up the conversation, see how it goes, see how we got on. We've been talking for like 2 hours, so, you know, I'm kind of happy with that. It's kind of cool. And just wanted to sort of see where everybody else kind of let in before we play video games. Does that make sense? Because, you know, as much as I like talking and drinking coffee, I've already had like, how many cups? 3. You say later, you're fine. Little boy is out from his class. I'm gonna go hug him and give him a break. Good, Andy. Things are a bit mad. I hate life goes a bit mad. Life goes a bit mad. Let's see if I can find us one final thought before we go into video games. And I'm actually gonna play Destiny today. I haven't played Destiny for a while. Oh fuck it, let's go on. Right. Here's the final thought, chat. Moving forward. I will not allow you to guilt trip me into believing that forgiveness requires offering you another chance. I have accepted the fact that mistakes are entwined in the cycle of life. And I have cleansed my heart from all anger, bitterness, and hatred. I am forgiving you for my own peace of mind, and if that requires evicting you from my space, then so be it. It's not about you anymore. I'm doing this for myself. So thank you for coming and chilling out to the chat. I'm gonna play video games.